Rustic fruit toffee gelato pops are intensely flavored with the soft frozen texture of soft serve as they quickly melt and will remind us of creamy fruit pie filling. Ice cream is a term controlled by the dairy industry, and to call a frozen confection ice cream, there is an expectation of a rich dairy custard. There is also an expectation that a certain amount of air needs to be incorporated into the custard during freezing, which is called overrun and is used to soften a stable high-fat custard to create a soft texture mouthfeel as it melts. Perfect for tubs of ice cream and ice cream bars that are coated in candy, stored for long periods of time and transported anywhere in the world. When we make ice cream pops at home, we do not need to incorporate air, which basically means we are making a regular confection or gelato. A gelato pop does not need to be an egg custard base either, and can have textures a little denser in flavor and have more chewy sauce-like textures as they melt, making them fun to eat, especially when different flavors of pops are layered together to create a unique flavor experience on their own. When we freeze the gelato in layers, we also need to freeze the popsicle stick between the layers as they freeze, and little plastic clips are handy to help hold the wooden stick somewhere close to the center. Then we need to wait 2 hours between each layer and at least 5 hours for the whole pop to freeze hard. These are perfect treats to make ahead of time, and it is a good idea to serve a gelato pop in a small jar, dish, or cup to help catch any drips as the gelato melts. When we make rustic homemade desserts like these gelato pops, the skills used to cook sugar and make sauces come in handy. My favorite sauce growing up was something that resembled a butterscotch sauce, which was to boil a little cream with brown sugar. A slightly more difficult sauce to make is a butter toffee, which is to cook granulated sugar in a little butter to the caramel stage, then add cream to stop the cooking. Butter toffee can also be enhanced with spices, fruits, and well-crafted spirits or tinctures like vanilla extract. You do not need to be a pastry chef to cook sugar, but after a few dozen successful caramel attempts, the process becomes second nature, and it is a process that can be controlled. When granulated sugar is boiled to the caramel stage, you will see and smell smoke rising from the edges of the pan and know the caramel needs to cool before it burns, which is a few seconds, so be prepared to work quickly to stop the cooking or allow yourself more time to react using a lower temperature. I use a heavy bottom pot with an inexpensive induction cooktop, and it takes me less than 2 minutes to reach a blonde caramel at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and about 30 seconds after that to reach a soft cracked caramel at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. The trick to the best caramel flavor is to take the sugar to the edge of burning, so a couple of beginner faults of not cooking the sugar enough to get a full caramelized flavor, or end up burning the sugar and then having to start over, are common, so do not get upset if it takes you a few tries to get it right, and a good candy thermometer is a good tool to use. The fruit butter toffee base recipe formula to make enough gelato to fill 3 100-gram ice pop molds is to cook 60 grams of sugar with 30 grams of butter to the caramel stage, or about 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and add 125 grams of fruit. Then add 60 grams cream, 60 grams milk, and a little spirit or vanilla extract. Then set the pot aside for 5 to 10 minutes to cool before blending. I have a Vitamix blender cup that works amazingly well for small amounts of puree, but I also like to strain out any lumps before adding the puree to the ice pop molds. Another popular sauce like butter toffee is dulce de leche, which is easy to make by cooking a sealed can of condensed milk submerged in near boiling water for about 3 hours, and it is a good idea to allow the can to cool before opening. Then boil 100 grams of the intense condensed milk toffee sauce with 100 grams milk, 125 grams fruit, and a little vanilla extract. Then the mixture is cooled, pureed, strained, and divided into ice pop molds.